So we have seen kinematics of circular motion. Now we have to see dynamics of circular motion. So we already know the difference between kinematics and dynamics. Kinematics means branch of mechanics without considering the cause of motion. It is अपन force consider करनी. In dynamics, it is the study of motion, branch of mechanics, where we study the motion using the cause of motion, force. So in circular motion, now we have to consider the different forces. So there are two types of forces that we use to explain the circular motion. One is the centripetal force and other is the centrifugal force. So I will write down only short form. CPF, centripetal force, and CFF, centrifugal force. So first we will consider this first type, centripetal force. Centripetal force. This P can be small, short form is CPF. It is denoted by F for force and C for centripetal force. FC. Now, but to explain this force. So the name itself suggests that it is a force acting along the radius and toward the center. We know the meaning of centripetal. The vector in circular motion which is directed along the radius and toward the center is called as a centripetal force. So if the vector is the acceleration vector, then it is called as a centripetal acceleration. If it is a force vector, then it is called as a centripetal force, like this. So we know Newton's law of motion. Force is equal to mass into acceleration. So last time we have derived the expression for the centripetal acceleration. It is produced by some force, and that force is called as a centripetal force. So by Newton's law of motion, force is equal to mass multiplied by acceleration. If acceleration A is a centripetal acceleration, then it is produced by it is caused by a force called centripetal force. And therefore CPF is equal to FC is equal to mass multiplied by centripetal acceleration. In vector form, it is given like this. But AC is equal to AR is equal to minus omega square vector R. And therefore, the centripetal force in vector form it is given by minus m omega square vector R. In magnitude, FC is equal to m multiplied by AC, m multiplied by AR, it is equal to m v square upon R, or m R omega square, or m into v into omega. So this is the question second. which gives the magnitude, and this gives the direction as well as magnitude. So in equation 1, negative sign, vector equations are rule. Same sign, same direction, opposite sign, opposite direction. In equation 1, negative sign indicates that direction of centripetal force is opposite to the direction of radius vector r. Therefore, centripetal force is always directed along the radius and toward the center of circular motion, like this. So why it is called centripetal force? We have explained with equation. So we know the expression for centripetal force. Equation 1 and 2 give the expression for the centripetal. Now we have to give the definition of centripetal force. So in definition we have to cover 2 points. One point we have already marked here. It is always directed along the radius and towards the center of the circle. This is one point. And what is another point? So that another point can be explained, can be considered like this. Now, last time we have seen the kinematics of UCM and non-UCM. Now, if AT is equal to 0, AT means tangential acceleration. What is the result? AT is equal to R alpha. Therefore, alpha is equal to 0. Therefore, alpha means d omega by dt is equal to 0. Therefore, d omega is equal to 0. Therefore, omega is remaining constant. So this is the result. If AT is equal to 0, omega is constant. B is equal to R omega. Therefore, omega is constant. Therefore, B is also constant. And therefore, the motion is UCM, uniform circular motion, because B and omega both are same. What is the conclusion? If the tangential acceleration is 0, then what is the conclusion about the motion? The motion is UCM and vice versa. You can use this property in both ways. If the motion is UCM, then tangential acceleration becomes 0. If tangential acceleration AT is equal to 0, then motion is UCM. Now, we know one more acceleration, that is AR. So, if AR, it is also called as AC. If radial or centripetal acceleration is 0, then what is about the motion? इथे मोशन काय मिळालं? हा रिझल्ट आपल्याला माहिती आहे. If the tangential acceleration is 0, then the motion is UCM. इथे काय? Whether the motion will stop or what will happen? This is a very important question. So this we have derived this radial acceleration or centripetal acceleration by this relation dv by dt. So if AC is equal to 0, then dv is equal to 0. No change in velocity. So v is uniform velocity. No change in magnitude. no change in direction. V is uniform velocity. So velocity is not zero. Change in velocity is zero. Change in velocity is zero. Change in velocity dv is equal to 0, but velocity v is not 0. And therefore we know the direction of velocity. So if this is a circle, then at this point, say A, if the AC becomes 0 at point A, then the particle will not change its magnitude and direction of velocity. So this linear velocity is along the tangent. So the motion will be continuing along this direction. So circular motion will stop because there is no centripetal force, there is no centripetal acceleration. So acceleration becomes 0, no change in velocity, no change in magnitude, no change in direction of the velocity. So UCM will stop and linear motion along the tangent will start with the same speed. Velocity की magnitude बदलणार नाही, डायरेक्शन पण बदलणार नाही. इथे सर्कल मध्ये फिरत असताना जी वेलॉसिटी होती, सॉरी जो स्पीड होता तो स्पीड इथे पण राहील. सो व्हॉट इज द रिझल्ट? इफ the radial or centripetal acceleration is 0, then motion will not stop. Motion will not stop. इथे रिझल्ट आपल्याला तोच मिळाला होता. If AT is equal to 0, then motion is UCM. In this case, UCM will stop, circular motion will stop, but motion will change into the new type. Linear motion along the tangent to the circle will start. Linear motion along the tangent to the circle will start. ज्या पॉइंटला सेंट्रिपिटल फोर्स 0 होईल, ज्या पॉइंटला सेंट्रिपिटल ॲक्सेलेरेशन 0 होईल, त्या पॉइंटला जर आपण टॅन्जंट काढले तर ह्या टॅन्जेन्शियल डायरेक्शन नेहमी आपल्याला बॉडी मूव्ह होतात. याचे बरेच एक्झाम्पल पण आपल्याला प्रॅक्टिकली माहिती आहे. नंतर आपण त्याची लिस्ट पण करत आहोत. सो व्हॉट इज द रिझल्ट? इफ AR or AC is equal to 0, then when centripetal acceleration AC becomes 0 or centripetal force FC becomes 0, vanishes, then circular motion will stop. Circular motion stops, but motion will not stop. But linear motion along the tangent, linear motion along the tangent to the circle will start with the same linear speed. स्पीड मध्ये बदल होणार नाही, फक्त डायरेक्शन फिक्स राहील. सो सर्क्युलर मोशन विल स्टॉप अँड लिनियर मोशन अलॉंग द टॅन्जंट टू द सर्कल विल स्टार्ट. व्हेरी इम्पॉर्टंट कन्क्लुजन. सो व्हॉट इज द रिझल्ट? इफ सेंट्रिपिटल फोर्स बिकम 0, सर्क्युलर मोशन स्टॉप्स. नाउ व्हॉट विल बी द वाइस वर्सा? If we want circular motion, then centripetal force must be acting on the body. So for circular motion, of a body, of a particle, centripetal force must be acting on it. That is, centripetal force is necessary for circular motion. Centripetal force is necessary, or you can say responsible. Centripetal force causes the circular motion. So cause of circular motion is the centripetal force, like this. ये हाथ दोन नंबर का point झाला. So this is point number 1. This is point number 2. So now we can give the definition of centripetal force completely. What is the definition? The force which is necessary for circular motion, or the force which is responsible for circular motion, the force which causes the circular motion, the force which maintains the circular motion. You can use any word, and which is always directed along the radius towards the center of the circle. Such a force is called as the centripetal force. So this is the definition of centripetal force. So we know definition, we know vector equation, magnitude, then this property is there. So centripetal force is necessary for circular motion. No centripetal force, no circular motion. So there are so many examples for this. So already we know the expression, vector equation, like this. This is the magnitude in different form. These are the different forms of centripetal acceleration, v square upon r, or omega square r, or v into omega, like this. Now we have to give the definition and example. So the definition is given by adding these 2 points. Now I will give the definition by combining these 2 factors. The force which is necessary which is responsible for circular motion, or the force which maintains, which causes the circular motion, and which is second point, and which is always directed along the radius and towards the center of a circle is called centripetal force. Centripetal force. So definition is given like this: the force which is necessary, the force which is responsible for circular motion, the force which causes the circular motion, the force which maintains the circular motion, and which is always directed along the radius and towards the center of the circle is called as. If centripetal force becomes 0, what will happen? That we know. Centripetal force becomes 0, centripetal acceleration becomes 0, no UCM. टॅन्जेन्शियल ॲक्सेलेरेशन 0 झालं तर तिथे आपल्याला UCM मिळते, आणि रेडियल ॲक्शन 0 झालं तर UCM नाही मिळणार, तिथे आपल्याला लिनियर मोशन मिळेल. लिनियर मोशन अलॉंग द टॅन्जेंट टू द सर्कल. हा दोघी ॲक्सेलेरेशनमधला डिफरन्स खूप महत्त्वाचा आहे. सो वी नो द वेक्टर इक्वेशन, वी नो द मॅग्निट्यूड, इट इज गिवन इन न्यूटन, SI युनिट इज न्यूटन, डायमेन्शन पण आपल्याला माहिती आहे. वन मोर पॉइंट इज centripetal force is a real force. Why? Because it is measured. We can measure it by the using the any device. Direct measurement is also possible. So for that purpose, let us see the examples. Examples of centripetal force. So let us see the examples of centripetal force. Now, why it is real force? The reason is very simple. Now we know that by using the mirrors, convex, concave, plane mirror, etc., we get the image of the object. That image may be real, in some cases may be virtual. So, if it is a real image, we can measure its distance directly. We can take it on the screen. If the image is virtual, then we cannot measure the distance directly. For example, if we consider a plane mirror, then if this is the object, then the image form is virtual. So we cannot measure the image distance directly. What is the indirect method? For plane mirror, U and V are equal always. The object distance and image distance are equal. So we will measure the object distance and then we will give the answer of image distance. So in this case, it is a real force, so we can measure it directly. And for that purpose, this is the best example. For the measurement of force, we are using the spring balance. So arrangement is like this. Suppose this is a string. Both the ends are brought together. Here is a leather belt, and here it is a stone. So by applying the tension by our hand along the string on the stone, we can reverse the stone in a circular path. So motion of the stone is circular motion. Why? Because some force is acting on the stone in this direction. So this is the centripetal force Fc, and it is provided by the tension applied by our hand. So it is a real force. Why? Because we can measure it. Very simple method. Break the one part of the string, and here a spring balance is fixed. So when we increase the speed of the stone in circular motion, the pointer of the spring balance also shows more and more reading. So by applying the tension by our hand, we are producing the circular motion of the stone, and that force is measured by using the spring balance. The spring balance, the pointer of the spring balance will show the reading of the centripetal force, the tension applied by our hand on the stone. Why? Because it is a real force. So this spring balance, it is used to measure the real forces. Now using spring balance, we measure the weight of the body. So weight means gravitational force, and gravitational force is a real force. So it is one of the basic and real force. Gravitational force is a real force. It is measured by spring balance. So spring balance measures the real forces, and therefore we can measure this real force by using spring balance. So it is a real force. So this is the first example. Centripetal force necessary for circular motion of stone is provided by tension applied by hand along the string on the stone, and it is measured It is measured by spring balance. So this is one example. The centripetal force necessary for circular motion of the stone tied to a string, it is provided by the tension applied by our hand. Fc is equal to tension applied by our hand along the string. This is one example. Like this, there are so many examples. In the list of circular motion, we have given some example. So second example is this. Second example can be given for planetary motion or for satellite motion. In circular motion of a satellite, maybe natural satellite like a moon or maybe artificial satellite. In circular motion of a satellite around the earth, centripetal force is equal to Fg, gravitational force of attraction, between earth and satellite, So centripetal force Fc is equal to Fg. Therefore, mv square upon r, is equal to gmm upon r square. So if this is the planet Earth and this is the circular path of the satellite, this is the satellite S of mass m. So Earth has mass capital M. The distance between the Earth and satellite is r. So this satellite moves in a circular path. So on this satellite, the gravitational force between the Earth and the satellite, it is acting along the line joining the two, and therefore this centripetal force is in the direction Fc. So it is provided by Fg, gravitational force between this. So planetary motion, the circular motion of the Earth around the Sun, again same equation. The centripetal force acting on the Earth is equal to gravitational force of attraction between the Sun and the Earth, like this. Similarly, we can give third example. Suppose this is a positively charged nucleus and this is the orbit in which the negatively charged electron is revolving. So on this electron, centripetal force is acting. So centripetal force necessary for circular motion of electron around the nucleus is provided by electrostatic force. Electrostatic force of attraction between positively charged nucleus and negatively charged electron. Coulomb's law number is totally negatively charged electron, and therefore Fc is equal to Fe, and therefore mv square upon r is equal to Zd into E, Zd square upon 4 pi epsilon naught r square, where Z is the atomic number, E is the charge of the electron, like this. So we have used this equation in chemistry for Bohr's theory. Bohr's theory of hydrogen atom. Bohr's theory चा हा पहिला postulate आहे. Centripetal force necessary for circular motion of the electron moving around the nucleus in circular orbit is provided by the electrostatic force of attraction between the positively charged nucleus and negatively charged electron. This is the equation. M is the mass of the electron, V is the tangential velocity of the electron, R is the radius of the circular orbit, Z is the atomic number, E is the charge of the electron. तर हे कुलम्स ऑफ द इक्वेशन आहे. सर्व टर्म्स डिटेलमध्ये एक्सप्लेन करण्याची काही गरज नाही. सो centripetal force is defined like this, and these are some examples. So there are like this. There are so many examples that can be given. One more example we will require. The centripetal force acting on a vehicle taking a turn is provided by taking a turn on horizontal road. Is provided by force of static friction. Between road and tires. So Fc is equal to Fs. So Fc is again given by mv square upon r. M is the mass of the vehicle, V is the tangential velocity, radius of the curve, and Fs is given by mu s, coefficient of static friction, into n. N is the normal direction, so this is equal to mu s into m into g, where mu s is the coefficient of static friction. Mu s is equal to coefficient of static friction. Actually, this part of friction was deleted in the syllabus of 11th standard, but we have considered it. आपण त्याचे इक्वेशन पण बघितले, लॉज ऑफ स्टॅटिक फ्रिक्शन, लॉज ऑफ कायनेटिक फ्रिक्शन, रोलिंग फ्रिक्शन, कायनेटिक फ्रिक्शन, स्टॅटिक फ्रिक्शन, त्याचे टाईप्स पण आपण बघितलेले होते. तर जरी तो पार्ट निग्लेक्ट केला तरी आपण हे इक्वेशन प्रॉब्लेम सॉल्व करताना पण यूज केलेला आहे. So mv square upon r, where m is the mass of the vehicle taking the turn, n is the normal direction, it is given by mg, gravitational force acting on it by the road. M is the mass cancel, so v square is equal to, we can get some equation like this. So this is the one of the forces. अजूनही असे बरेच एक्झाम्पल आपल्याला देता येतील. आपण भरपूर मोठी लिस्ट केलेली होती. फॉर एक्झाम्पल, when the vehicle is moving on a flyover bridge, the motion of the vehicle is again circular motion. In that case also, this circular the centripetal force is acting, but it is provided by a different type of force. So in vertical circle, in the example of sphere of death, the motorcyclist is revolving on the inner surface of vertical circle, and when the vehicle is moving on the flyover bridge, it is moving on the outer surface. So in both the cases, the motion is circular, but one is on inner surface, other is on outer surface of vertical circle, and in both the cases the centripetal force is necessary and it is provided by different meanings. म्हणजे vertical circle चे दोन एक्झाम्पल सांगितले मी. Sphere of death, vehicle is moving on inner surface of vertical circle, and flyover bridge, the vehicle is moving on outer surface. In both the cases, circular motion is there for the vehicle, centripetal force is acting, but the centripetal force is provided by two different methods. What are the methods that we have to see in detail? So this is the one of the force in circular motion called as the centripetal force. Now we have to consider one more force, and that is a pseudo force. So last year we have seen the distinguishing factor between real and pseudo forces. So pseudo forces are imaginary forces. They are assumed in order to obey the Newton's law of motion in accelerated frame of reference. So in this case, now we know that in circular motion, when the body, when the object, when the vehicle, when the stone, etc., moves along the circumference of a circle, there are accelerations existing in circular motion. One is the radial acceleration, tangential acceleration, angular acceleration. So, radial acceleration is always present whenever there is a circular motion. It is necessary. So, there is a acceleration, therefore it is a accelerated motion. And in accelerated motion, we have to imagine a pseudo force, and that pseudo force is called as centrifugal force. It is not a real force because it cannot be measured. It cannot be measured directly. Indirectly you can measure it. So now we are going to see the second type of force in circular motion, that is the centrifugal force. So second type of force that we are going to consider is the centrifugal force. So let us see this second force, centrifugal force. So now we know the properties of circular motion. Circular motion is produced due to centripetal force. Therefore, a particle performing circular motion has an acceleration AR equal to AC equal to B square upon R equal to omega square R, etc. Therefore, what is the result? Circular motion has acceleration, so this acceleration is not equal to 0. Therefore, circular motion is an accelerated motion. A body has accelerated motion. And we know that in accelerated motion or in accelerated frame of reference, we have to imagine the force called as a centrifugal force. Therefore, a pseudo force called centrifugal force is the imaging in circular motion, short form. A pseudo force called centrifugal force is imaging in circular motion in order to apply or in order to obey laws of motion. Centrifugal force is not real. It cannot be measured. So, to verify laws of motion, centrifugal force is equal to minus of centripetal force. So it is always opposite to the centrifugal force, and therefore centrifugal force CFF is equal to minus m omega square r. Minus minus will become plus, so it is equal to m omega square r. Centrifugal force is given by this type of equation. In vector form, it is given by like this. So now in centripetal force there is a minus sign. In centrifugal force there is a plus sign. Plus plus, same sign, same direction. So centrifugal force is directed along the direction of the radius vector r. Centrifugal force has direction along the direction of r, vector r, that is along the radius and away from center of circle. Centripetal force is directed along the radius and toward the center, it is directed away from the center. So, to give the definition of centrifugal force, we have to add these 2 points. An imaginary or pseudo force imaging in circular motion in order to apply the Newton's laws of motion and which is always directed along the radius and away from the center of the circle is called as the centrifugal force. So, we know the vector equation magnitude will be given the same as that of the centripetal force. So, now we will give the definition of centrifugal force. Definition of centrifugal force. A pseudo force, or it is also called as a fictitious force. A pseudo force imaging assumed in circular motion in order to verify or in order to apply, in order to verify Newton's laws of motion. हा झाला एक पॉइंट, Newton's laws of motion, and second point, and which is always directed along the radius and away from center of circle. Is called centrifugal force. A pseudo or fictitious force imaging in circular motion in order to verify the Newton's laws of motion. This is first point, and which is always directed along the radius and away from the center of the circle is called as a centrifugal force. Centrifugal force is imaginary force, it is not real. Centrifugal force is not a real force. Therefore, it cannot be measured directly, but it is measured indirectly. Direct measurement is not possible. It cannot be measured directly because it is not a real force like this. So magnitude is given by centrifugal force vector F is equal to m omega square vector r in magnitude CFF is equal to CPF is equal to FC is equal to mv square upon r or m omega square r or m into v into omega. Vector equation, scalar equation, property, definition. Now we are to view examples of centrifugal force. examples of centrifugal. Last year we have seen some example of pseudo forces. For example, when the bus is moving on a straight road and if the driver accelerates the bus, if the driver increases the speed of the bus, then the passenger sitting in the bus, they are thrown in the backward direction toward the seat. If the driver applies the brake, speed decreases, then all the passenger in that bus, they are thrown in the forward direction. Actually, this motion, backward direction toward the seat or forward direction toward the driver, these motions are due to the inertia. त्या पॅसेंजरवर कोणत्याच प्रकारची कोणीच फोर्स एक्झर्ट करत नाही आहे. इनर्शियाचा तो इफेक्ट आहे. नो वन इज एक्झर्टिंग द फोर्स फॉर्म ऑन द पॅसेंजर टू produce the motion in the backward direction or forward direction. There is no real force. The motion is only due to the effect of inertia. Everybody has a tendency to continue the motion. So when the driver accelerates or retard the bus, then because of inertia, the observer, the passenger is moving, is thrown either in the backward direction or in the forward direction. There is no force which is responsible. There is no real force which is responsible for this backward and forward motion. It is only due to the effect of inertia. So this example we have used for bus accelerated or retarded on the straight road. Same example आपण circular motion साठी repeat करू शकतो. So if this is the curved road, घाटामध्ये वगैरे असे रोड असतात. So this is the vehicle bus taking a turn. So in this case, the passenger, P for passenger, they are thrown in the radially outward direction. If this C is the center, then the passengers are thrown in the radially outward direction. The turn left ला असेल तर passenger right ला फेकले जातात. So when a vehicle is taking or moving along a curved path, curved road, then passengers in it are thrown in a radially outward direction due to pseudo force called centrifugal force, like this. This is the best example. Everyone has experienced this example. Now, if a pendulum is suspended from the ceiling of a bus, the same thing will happen. The bob of the pendulum is thrown in the radially outward direction. Same example we can use for pendulum. So if this is a bus and if this is a pendulum suspended, then it shows the deflection in the direction. So pendulum is thrown in the radially outward direction, like this. So these are the two simple examples that can be observed by anyone. Now this centrifugal force has so many applications in medical laboratories, in factories, chocolate factories, etc. So there is a long list of centrifugal applications of or uses of centrifugal force. So here we will stop. Next we will see the different examples where the centrifugal force has important role, and then we will see the distinguishing factors between the centrifugal force and centripetal force, like this. So dynamics means we have to study the motion by considering the forces. So there are two types of forces, centripetal and centrifugal. Centripetal force is a real force, centrifugal force is not a real force. Why it is not real, that can also be explained by a simple experiment. So we will see that reason in the next lecture. Okay, we'll stop here. Next, we will see some examples of centrifugal force first, and then distinguishing factors between the centripetal force and centrifugal force. This vector equation we have given in only in terms of vector r, m omega square r. It can also be given in terms of mv square upon r. So how it is written in the form mv square upon r, that is also one important point. Okay, we will stop here.